back again with another video. Obviously, as you saw, we did our React to Sky Bet Championship 2019-20 table predictions, but now we're on to the Premier League ones. So, starting off, obviously, with Arsenal. I predicted Arsenal to finish 7th, Luke predicted Arsenal to finish 5th, and they actually finished 8th. So a bit of an underachieving season for Arsenal. However, they did win the FA Cup, and I think Mikel Arteta has done a really good job for his first season. But yeah, now on to the next one.
Next team is Aston Villa. You predicted them to finish 11th, and I said 10th. And they actually finished 17th. So yeah, kind of disappointing for them. Obviously coming up from the Championship, but it's quite hard to try and build up momentum.
Yeah.
And they were quite lucky towards the end, and I think it was the last game against West Ham when they got a draw, which just about kept them up. And yeah, fair play to them really.
Yeah, I think Jack Grealish did them a really good favour, but people think that they just rely on him. But there's players like Ezri Konsa, Trezeguet, who's had a great season as well. But now on to Bournemouth. So I predicted them to finish 15th, Luke predicted them to finish 12th, and they actually finished 18th. So it's quite sad because they established themselves as a Premier League side. Yeah, obviously I have an ex-player in Sam Surridge. I know he had a goal disallowed in one of the last games of the season, which is a vital point. And I think if you're looking at the table, that could have played an impact on survival. But anyway, now on to the next one.
Next is Brighton. You predicted them to finish 20th, and I said 18th. No, I didn't. I said 17th, and they actually finished 15th.
Yeah, so a good season for them.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I just didn't expect, because with the new manager and they hadn't made any signings at that point, but obviously they brought in Neil Maupay and Jahan Bash and players like that who did really well. But now on to Burnley. So I predicted Burnley to finish 17th, Luke predicted them to finish 18th, and they actually finished 10th. A really good season for Burnley overall. You know, they don't play the prettiest of football, but they get the results done, and Sean Dyche is a very consistent manager.
Yeah,
but yeah, on to the next one.
Next to Chelsea. You predicted them to finish 5th, and I said 7th, and they actually finished 4th. Yeah, it's been quite good for them, to be honest. Obviously, I like Frank Lampard. I think he's done a good job there.
Yeah.
Obviously, bringing youth academy players like Abraham, Tomori, Hudson-Odoi, and obviously he's giving them a chance, which I think is really, really good from him. And they got unlucky, obviously, in the FA Cup final against Arsenal as well.
Yeah,
obviously losing 2-1 in that. They were quite unlucky with injuries, obviously, in Pulisic going off quite late in the second half. And obviously they're very with Korosic as well, but I think they've had a good season in the Prem, to be honest. Yeah,
so now on to Crystal Palace. So I predicted them to finish 10th, Luke predicted them to finish 11th, and they actually finished 14th. So it was quite, I remember since the restart they were terrible. Before that they were looking good, you know, Zaha, Townsend, Ayew. Players like Ayew was their top scorer, he had a terrific season, just like Ayew at Swansea as well. Yeah, that was a very underachieving season for them, but on to the next.
Next is Everton. You predicted them to finish 9th, and I said 6th, and they actually finished 12th. So kind of disappointing, you could say.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been hard for them. Obviously, with managers, I think it was like Marco Silva that was their first manager, and then went to
so.
Duncan Ferguson.
And then
what's that Italian's name?
Oh,
Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, he's there now. Yeah.
And yeah, I think he'll do a good job next season. Ancelotti, he's a good manager.
Very experienced.
And yeah, I think he can help the players improve, and I think they'll become a decent team.
Yeah, so now on to Leicester. So I predicted them to finish 8th, Luke predicted them to finish 9th, and they actually finished 5th. A very, very solid season for Leicester. Feel bad for them though, because they were in the Champions League spot and dropped that right at the end. Same with Nottingham Forest with the playoffs. Both obviously Midlands teams as well, so a bit in common. But I remember at one point they were like second in the table at some point, and they looked like that they were the only team to be able to catch up Liverpool. But yeah, on to the next anyway.
Next is the Scouse, Liverpool. You predicted them to finish 2nd. I also said 2nd, but obviously they finished 3rd. Not first, sorry. Bloody hell. Yeah, obviously as a United fan, I don't want to speak too highly of them, but to be fair, fair play to them. They've had a good season. Klopp's a great manager, and they've just done incredible, really. The signings they've made, the way Klopp's made the team stronger and much better than what it used to be. And just fair play to them.
So next up is Manchester City. I predicted first, Luke predicted first, and they actually finished second. So still a good season for Man City. However, if they don't win the Champions League, I wouldn't count it as a successful season. Did they win the Carabao Cup? I don't know if they did. But obviously they haven't won the FA Cup and they haven't won the Prem, so the Champions League is what they're going to be going all out for. But yeah, it's been a decent season for City, and De Bruyne, what a player he's been this season. In my opinion, he's probably the best player in the world at this current moment in time. But yeah, he's had a great season, and on to the next one anyway.
Next is Man United.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry.
You predicted them finished third. I said fourth, and they did finish third. I think they've done quite decent, to be honest. Obviously bringing in Bruno in January, I think that's massive for the club. Obviously he's had goals and assists, and he's been a really, really handy player. And yeah, United have been quite decent, to be fair.
Yeah, so now moving on to Newcastle United. Obviously, I predicted them to finish 18th, Luke predicted them to finish 16th, and they actually finished 13th. So a very decent season for Newcastle. Their fans would be absolutely gutted that the deal has fallen through with the new owners, because I think they would have been the richest club in the Prem by a long run, and that could have transformed them into one of the big six. So I feel gutted for them, but it is what it is, and yeah, they've had a decent season, and on to the next one anyway.
Next is Norwich. You predicted them to finish 16th. I said 20th, and they did indeed finish 20th. Quite disappointing for them, really. I thought they would have done well with their manager. Is it Fark?
Yeah,
I think is his name. Yeah, quite disappointing. Obviously, coming up from the Championship, obviously quite difficult to try and build momentum, like I said about Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just quite frustrating for them, really.
Yeah, so so now on to Sheffield United. I predicted 14th, you predicted 15th, and they actually finished 9th. A very solid season. I remember they were in 5th at one point, but they brought in some good players like Ollie McBurney, Lee Mousset, and Callum Robinson. Obviously went back on loan to West Brom, but they still got some good players, and since the restart, McBurney's been terrific. But it's just a shame they didn't finish higher, but still a great season. It's the highest ever finish in a Premier League season. But on to the next one anyway.
Next is Southampton. You predicted them to finish 19th, and so did I. But they actually finished 11th, so quite a good season for them, to be fair. I think Danny Ings, what a player he's been this season, being one of the top goal scorers in the league. He's just been incredible. No one would expect him to get about 20 odd goals a season, but he did, so fair play to him.
Now on to Tottenham Hotspur. So I predicted them 4th, you predicted them 3rd, and they actually finished 6th. So a bit underachieving, but obviously they got Europa League. Mourinho hasn't come in and done the most consistent job, but he's got them into Europa League football. And he's still a consistent, I wouldn't say consistent, but an experienced manager, and he can add a lot. But Harry Kane is probably going to move on at some point because he wants to win trophies, but I think he's dedicated to the club for a minute. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And now on to the next one.
Next is Watford. You said 13th, I said 14th, but they did finish 19th. So yeah, very, very disappointing for Watford. I like the club. Troy Deeney's a good manager. He loves the club. And it's just really sad for them because they've been in the Prem for quite a long time now. Yeah. And yeah, it's just a shame for them to go back down.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. They were an established Prem club just like Bournemouth, and it was good how they got into the Prem as well with that Deeney moment as well. Obviously, hopefully Deeney for them stays at the club, shows his loyalty, which I think he will do. But now on to West Ham. So I predicted 12th, you predicted 13th, and they actually finished 16th. So a bit of a underachieving season for West Ham, but towards the end of the season they were terrific. And Mikel Antonio, he in my opinion was one of the best players since the restart, if not the best. He just had an absolutely terrific season, and yeah, hopefully West Ham can kick on now and try and maybe get a Europa League spot next season. But now on to the last one.
The last one is Wolves. I said 6th. Oh no, you said 6th. I said 8th. And they did finish 7th, so in between. Yeah, they've been quite good, to be fair. I think Nuno's a good experienced manager. They got a good style of football. They got great players in the Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez, Ruben Neves, Willy Boy at the back, and obviously the skipper Connor Cody, who's committed to the club and loves the club similar to Dini, really.
Yeah.
And they've been a solid club this season.
Yeah, so obviously that's been it for this Prem, reacting to our Prem predictions from the 2019-20 campaign. Obviously we did a Championship one as well, so watch that. But obviously now the football season's finished, the videos we'd expect from us will probably be Swansea transfer news, and we'll be doing a Swansea season review. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.